Hi everyone! I know that a lot of you love videos where there is not only coloring but also talking. So I invented this coloring tag which I called Have You Ever? And the questions will be on your screen, and I also will be coloring a picture from Martha Vanderberg from Holland with Love, and I will be using my color blend and Prismacolor pencils. So, first question is, have you ever copied the work of other colorists? I never copied the picture of other colorists completely. When I partly lost my inspiration or in days where I am too lazy to start coloring new picture, I love to go to the internet, to Facebook group or to the Instagram and to look at work of other colorists. And for me it's always an inspiration. And I must confess that I usually noticed unusual for me color combos, like I learned a color combo of violet plus magenta and plus orange, or green plus pale blue, or pale pink and pale blue for flowers, and I intend to use these color combos for my next colorings, but otherwise I never copied elements of other works or works completely. Sometimes I even go and check works of other colorists. If I got an idea for my next coloring, I always have to be careful and I try not to copy. I had a period in my coloring life that I saw so many beautiful works of colorists in Hannah Carson's book, in Facebook group dedicated to her pictures, that I was completely intimidated to start something of my own. I thought that everything I was able to do will be just a copy, not something from my imagination. Now I don't have such problems and as I said, really enjoy to get inspiration from other works, but I still have to be careful and to check whether it's my genuine idea or I somehow remembered beautiful picture which I already saw. As a YouTuber, as a blogger, I have to be careful. And the next question is, have you ever bought a book under YouTube influence? And of course I had. The most guilty channel is channel of our dear coloring queen. And I must confess that I don't like videos where we have only a flip through. I prefer videos where we also can get an opinion about quality of the paper and suitable art supplies, because for me now especially now when I have a lot of books, the question of paper quality is more important, and now I am much more careful about selecting my books. But still, I think that almost all of the books which I own came for me after I saw flip through on YouTube or coloring. So definitely yes. The next question is, have you ever colored a page which you completely hated? Well, not completely hated, because I never start a picture which I don't like at least a little bit. It just won't be finishing very well. I don't need to start it. I know that if I don't find something interesting in the picture, I won't be able to get an interesting result in the end. But sometimes I start to color pictures which seem a little bit boring, like pictures from Bloomster Mandala by Maria Trolle, but I try to find my own challenge, like converting picture from spring to winter, like I did in my recent coloring, or maybe to draw something additional on the background or practice some skills. So I tried to find something challenging in boring picture, but completely hated picture not. That's why I don't often participate in coloring challenges, color alongs, because I need to feel a strong inspiration towards the picture before I start to color it. The next question is, have you ever left unfinished picture? And of course I have. Sometimes I'm completely happy with the progress of my work, but I'm just a little bit intimidated to make a final step, to add final touches. Maybe it's a background or coloring face, and to ruin already a long work. So left it, I leave it for some time, and of course I will return to it after maybe a couple of days or a week. And usually it's easier for me to continue my work after such a break. But sometimes I leave my pictures which I am not happy about, and I have couple of such examples. I am still not sure whether or not I will be returning to them. I have couple of unfinished pictures in Magical Dawn with two cute mice and Spring Girl, and maybe I will return to them or maybe not. The most important thing is I never feel guilty when I left my page unfinished. I'm just trying to get something positive from the process and to understand where I made a mistake, why I am not satisfied, or why my initial idea didn't work in the end. So I just try to find something positive and never feel guilty at my unfinished works. In the end, there are so many other pictures in our books. Next is, have you ever ruined picture completely? Well, I think that I didn't have, but for me there are no such thing as a ruined picture. You just can get a picture which didn't completely answer your initial idea, but still in the end it will be a picture with your skills put into it, and you always can get it better. You can always change some colors with applying different mediums, or you can always cover everything with black acrylic paint and to save your background. So I never ruined picture or have a picture which were a complete disaster. Sometimes I just don't want to continue coloring because if I already saw that it's not what I intended to do, I just lose my interest in this picture. And sometimes I just put it away to correct it later when I will have more free time and another creative idea how to correct picture which doesn't work very well from the first step. Next question is, have you ever been disappointed in a book or pencil set after you have purchased it? I have to say that I am quite lucky. I don't have any books or pencils which disappointed me completely. As I have a limited budget and also we don't have a big choice of art supplies in our art stores, I just try to purchase things which are already have a high quality, which are of proven quality and are used by many colorists and people are happy with them. Like Prismacolors or Polychromoses, you know from the beginning that they are of the highest quality and you won't be disappointed. If we had a bigger selection of brands, of different art mediums in our art stores, maybe I would purchase more things just for testing, but for now I'm happy with my art supplies. I know where I can use each medium for which kind of paper in what kind of book, so I never have a disappointed with art mediums. As for books, I also don't have a completely disappointed book. Maybe the closest thing is Romantic Country, and also a book dedicated to the Sherlock Holmes TV series. I was so in love with the TV series that I wanted this book. I wanted to color characters from the movie, but when I purchased it, I didn't know what to do with a lot of black lines. I was quite naive that I will be able to cover them with my pencils only, just like I saw on Instagram on some colorist profiles, but I wasn't able to find medium which will be quite opaque to cover those black lines. Now I think that I am ready to make a second step and to try to use different mediums like acrylic paint or gouache in this book, and to give it the second chance, because still pictures are good and the only thing you have to resolve is the problem with black lines. In my opinion, even if the book is disappointed you from the first thought, maybe you just have to put it away for some time, and after some period away from this book, you can return to it, and maybe you can try a different medium, and another brand of pencil will work better on the paper if the problem was in the paper quality, or you will decide to practice your coloring skills on the book which is not too precious for you. So, time is the best medicine in such things, and maybe you will fall in love with this book after some time. But still, I am trying to be careful when I am adding another book to my coloring book collection because it's already quite big. Next question is: have you ever lost desire to color at all? And answer is yes. This January wasn't very productive month for me. I had quite a busy time at work, and also I didn't feel well for some time. I can't say that I don't want to color at all. I'm just not so creative in my colorings as I am usual, not so able to experiment, to invent something new. But I'm trying to be quite gentle with myself. I know that a lot of pictures which I started this month are not very interesting, not very complicated, but I'm now more in relaxing coloring, selecting more simple pictures in more simple books and just playing with colors. And this is my way to slowly returning to more complicated pictures. I must confess that I also feel pressure that I need to make videos, especially for my Patreon site, to make instructive videos, to teach something new. But for me, it's a positive push. Usually, when I push myself to sit at the table and at least to start coloring something, gradually I feel that desire to color returns to me. But I am not feeling guilty when I don't color for a couple of days or even for a week. I know that after such a short break, I will return in better shape with more fresh ideas. So the key thing for me is not feeling guilty, to let myself rest, or maybe to switch to my other hobbies, and in the end I know that I will feel this desire to color again. Next question is more on the fun side, and it's, have you ever seen art supplies in your sleep? And answer it yes. After I got as a present my set of polychromos pencils, I have a very pleasant dream that I draw butterflies, and after I finish to draw them, they fly away, and it was really a very pleasant dream and very realistic. Next question is, have you ever changed your idea about picture after it's almost half finished? And answer is yes. Sometimes I have an idea to make a dramatic background, and in the process I can see that the picture by itself is already very well detailed and has nice contrasts, and adding a bright background will be too overwhelming. So I change my idea. Sometimes I start to do a picture with the daylight, and in the end I still decided to add a dark background, because you know that dark backgrounds always help to pop up the picture, the main picture on the page. But usually I try to imagine at least 80% of my picture before I start to color it, and decide at least 80% of all colors of the main objects. You may notice that sometimes I start coloring from the background and sometimes from the main object. And usually I start from the background if I feel that the background is huge and it will be challenging to do it. So if I ruin the background, it won't be having any sense to color the main objects after. So I try to start from the most difficult part. And if my background is a success, then I won't be changing a main idea for the rest of the page. So the background is the most frequent subject to be changed completely in the process of coloring. Next is, have you ever wanted to color the same page the second time? And answer is definitely yes, but it applies only to Flower Yearbook by Leila Dewey and Pictures in Tomislav Tomic. For Tomislav, I wish that I also had book in Dutch edition, where I will be able to use watercolors. And the same for Leila Dewey. I wish that I had a second copy and to color it completely with watercolors. I think that it would be fun to have two books, one colored only with pencils and the second flower year colored with watercolors. But the thing is that I have so many books and not so many free time to color the same picture twice. So maybe somewhere in the next life, but definitely not now. And the last question is, have you ever wanted to have other colorist skills? Answer is definitely yes. The first person is Marena. I think that everyone knows Marena. She is absolutely sweet person and she does amazing pictures in a huge range of books. I think that she is able to color everything. And the second colorist is Shirley XLY. I will leave you a link to her channel. Unfortunately, She haven't made any videos recently, but I think that she's amazingly talented. And the third person is our Peter. Peter Hewitt is also amazingly talented. She has a gift for colors, but she is also able to draw amazing things. I always can find inspiration in works of these persons. I hope that this video was fun and interesting to listen. If other people want to answer the same questions, I will be happy to read your answers, maybe here in the comments or on my Facebook page, or if other YouTube bloggers want to do the similar video, I will also be happy to get your link and to hear your answers. If you like ideas of such coloring text, I already have in mind another one. Thank you for watching and for listening. Until the next videos. Bye!